We're expecting people to buy in downtown the new condos with that type of environment?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, what I did actually with my wife and someone from my office on Sunday, we actually took the Metro Rail down to Miami Museum of Art, to visit Miami Museum of Art. Then we walked directly from Miami Museum of Art down Flagler, see the $10 million street improvement program on Flagler. And then from there we walked to Bicentennial Park. So we walked all up and down Biscayne Boulevard. And it is unique to see Miami from the foot versus the car. And it reminded me of the Indian with his tear in his eye when I grew up. That used to indicate pollution, and there was plenty of that. And, you know, I'm going to take ownership of the problem because I'm the District 2 Commissioner. And with the grace of God, I'll be back here after November. And if I sit here in front of you and it looks like that the following November, then you should criticize me. Because regardless of what we're doing, we're not doing it right. I don't care what you call it. Whether you call it micro-enterprise, whether you call it facade, whatever it is we're doing, we're not getting it right. We're not getting it right from our end. And our end are the streets and the sidewalks. Whether we decide that it's right to go to the private owners, and whether you think it's appropriate to pay or provide a program to somebody who is an absentee landlord, you know, in Washington, D.C., and whether it's a trust, because I started looking into all these buildings. Obviously, they don't care what their buildings look like. They take no pride in ownership. They take no pride in allowing it to look the way it looks. So I will take ownership of that problem. That is District 2's problem. We are not getting it right. We are getting it absolutely wrong. The Lerner Building is a classic example of how the city of Miami has worked for the better part of 20 years. For 17 years, that place has been closed. For 4.5 years, that roof has collapsed. And yet we ask Macy's to stay downtown, next to a building whose roof has collapsed, whose water is invading their basement, and who now has a mold problem. And we say to them, please stay, we're going to get this right. When? When are we going to get this right? How are we going to get this right? I again say to you, Mr. Manager, I know there's a carrot and a stick approach, but if you don't start carrying a stick, we will go nowhere in the city of Miami. Until you start enforcing liens, until you allocate to the city attorney and we find out if it's him that's not getting it done, until we start foreclosing on our liens and start acting like a city that cares and a city that acts tall and with some dignity and actually says you will comply, we'll go nowhere. And that's best illustrated on Flagler Street and best illustrated on Miami Avenue, where we have 3 sidewalks closed for no apparent reason for construction. Don't know why they're closed, and I don't know if the new program of street closures applies to them, but I don't know how a person in a wheelchair gets through downtown. They just can't do it.